Hey Terry, how you doing this morning, my friend?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Right before we came on, Terry was telling me a little bit about a story last night. He was apparently on the computer late night during Terry's travels, and he was betting at Grants Pass. Maybe this was something that some of the rest of you experienced. I was looking for it just now in the news as we were coming into the and the numbers were rolling by. And I haven't been able to find it yet, but tell us a little bit about what like ghost riding at Grants Pass.
Yeah, well, it was the 11th race, the last race. They don't usually have 11 races, usually 8 or 9, and it was their closing night. So they had a big carryover on the pick 5, and of course there was a lot of interest in that. So the horses took off. I think there were 8 or 9 horses in the race. I had 2 of them in the pick 4. And when they got to the first turn, all of a sudden, all the lights went off. You couldn't see a thing, and the announcer was yelling, "Stop the race! Stop the race!" And are you kidding me? And so then one emergency light was at the finish line, and as the horses crossed the finish line, first came the number 2 with a rider, and then 2 more horses came with no riders. So nobody knows what happened.
Ichabod Crane.
I guess. And then, so they just made it a no contest. Hopefully nobody got hurt. They didn't announce that. And they paid, everybody off, refunded the money. If you had pick 4, you got paid.
Unlike the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah. So, it worked out all right unlike the Breeders' Cup. Yeah. It worked out all right for me because I had 2 horses. And so I think it paid like $360 for a pick 4, so I got that twice. So it's like a bird in the hand, or whatever you call it. So it was
2 for 1 special. We'll go with that. That sounds a little bit more appropriate considering what happened.
Yeah, I do think that whoever had the pick 5, because there were going to be some big payoffs there. I'm sure that somebody had like single tickets, because if you look at the pull and the payoff, that's what it was. I'm sure that person isn't too happy. So.
No. Well, maybe somebody who didn't have it flipped the light switch.
It might be. I think what happened is they don't ever run 11 races. So it sounded like to me like a contactor in where the guy was announcing the races went off. So I think there's a timer on those lights, and nobody thought to set the timer.
To change them, yeah. I would guess that's the case. I was going to say somebody somewhere forgot to change the timer.
Yeah, it was scary.
And that's why the "Are you kidding me?" comment came out.
That's right.
Yeah, because they know that the lights were the lights went out in Grants Pass. Something like that in Georgia, right? The lights went out in Georgia, but Grants Pass, Georgia, there's not much difference there, Terry, at all.
No, there's not. So
no. So one of the things Terry went off to the Breeders' Cup, and wherever Terry goes, the money follows, right? That's how it works, right, Terry?
That's right. Yes.
Because when you talk about the Breeders' Cup, it's big money Breeders' Cup. Our friend Jay Ginsbach at Forbes, I've actually been in his articles before, which is kind of interesting. You see your name in Forbes. Look, Mom, I made it. I'm in Forbes. Unfortunately, I'm not in that list that they produce every year. But as Jay mentions, the Breeders' Cup sets records, and 2021 results produced the biggest betting handles. And we keep hearing about horse racing's dead, and then we keep reading stories about money. So what do you think, Terry? Do you just think that there's more money being spent in fewer places, or do you feel like horse racing's really not having financial issues, at least right now?
I don't think they're having financial I think a lot of what's going on is brought it up to the public and put it out there, and people get interested and they go to see what's going on. And I don't think they're having a problem financially. I think they're doing fine. If you look at most of the big tracks, they're increasing their handles this year over last year. So,
purses are up. Betting is up. Yeah, the whole thing, everything is across the board is rising. And that, if there's more money, and I know they're printing a lot of money at the Fed, and they're giving out a lot of money at the federal government. So, I mean, there's plenty of money to go around. You have to figure something's going to find its way to horse racing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Unquestionably, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Tom Carley says the money is at Keeneland for the sale this week. Yes. We'll talk about that in a couple seconds. Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. Always, more money spent at the top end, and smaller tracks are probably dying. That's what I kind of think. It's the 80-20 rule. 20%, 80% of the business goes to 20% of the tracks.
Yeah, he's absolutely right, because I've seen so many small tracks close. They just can't make it anymore. And, it's been hard.
I think it's one of those things where maybe you have to attract more of your core audience. You can't chase away your audience looking for new audience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
If you make, I still contend because of our experience with horse racing today, in the horse racing podcast, that this is the most approachable business that there is. We don't get any, like, very few people have like stuck their nose up towards us and been like, get lost. Everybody's been nice, accommodating, and has been willing to come on and show with people they don't even know. Right? We just started. And I would think that if they went more family friendly, because everybody we talk to says that mom, dad, degenerate uncle, somebody in the family brought them to the track. They had a good time. They fell in love with the track as a kid. I think you have to bring back that experience, especially nowadays when you walk around. I don't have my phone, but hell, every kid is like this. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of adults too. So.
Yeah, so here you go. Oaklawn should be the model for small track, total turnaround. Yeah, I mean, emulate what works. That's what always they say. If you want to be successful, do what successful people do. Yeah. Speaking of sales, Tom Carley brought up sales. The other day, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how a Swiss Skydiver would be up for sale, Terry.
Yes.
And big Skydiver money here, too. I mean, Swiss Skydiver sells for $4.7 million. Now we know why they wanted to sell the horse.
Yeah, I can
You're not
see
going to
why.
win $4.7 million in many races.
No, and I can see why. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes, but maybe we should make a digital Swiss Skydiver, Terry. We talked about that digital horse in that what is it, Ned Run? It's for $500,000. Let's go out and make a digital Swiss Skydiver.
Yeah, it might work really well, and especially if we get into it early. Like I heard a commentary yesterday about the coin online. What's that called?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That if you had bought it when it first came out for $10 a share, you would be worth somewhere around $600,000 on that $10 right now.
So sad. Yeah. There was a kid not too long ago. My son was telling me about this. I'm sad about all this stuff. I worked at a currency, like a forex and commodities firm back in the day, and we would talk about Bitcoin when it was trading at like $500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if I had put like $5,000 in it at the time, it would be worth a couple $1 million right now. And we were talking about it. We were talking about putting money in, and then it kind of crashed. And we're like, it's digital money. It's fake. And
yeah.
But some kid recently put, I think, $8,000 or $5,000 into some coin, and it's now worth like $5 billion. And it took like 6 months. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy. And when this came out, the Bitcoin, we also talked about it. I have an investment club, and we were talking about it, and somebody in there, said, oh, no, we don't want to do that. So we didn't do it. We should have done it. And then I also had a friend of mine that called me up all excited about it, and he wanted me to get involved. I said, hey, I think you're crazy. This stuff's not going to do anything. And I imagine I haven't kept contact. I don't know where he went, but I imagine he made quite a bit of money.
Well, Mark Cuban, the guy who owns the Dallas Mavericks and had Broadcom and sold it and became a billionaire. One of those guys that thinks he's a lot smarter than he is, just got lucky with a product and became a billionaire, but everybody listens to him. But he pointed out that 4% of the population, Terry, 4% has retired because they become wealthy off of Bitcoin.
Wow.
That to me, that's an insane statistic.
It is. It's something.
Well, let's see if we can make Bitcoin out of horse races, Terry. We have to try to combine the two. And I guess the place to start with that, Terry, maybe we should make Terry's coin or something like that.
Maybe. But we should also talk about the fact that we hit the pick 4 yesterday. So,
well, we can talk about that when we get to the pick 4. But let's first get to Terry's best bet of the day, because I have I don't know what you call it, but I have kind of like that order when I got to do things in order. Otherwise, I get upset. Right.
Oh, yeah, I understand. All right. Well,
so Terry's best bet is this goes in order. Here we are.
Yeah.
Your best bet today is at Churchill Downs, race number 6, Terry. There you are in your handsome self again, not once, but twice. I think you're wearing the same shirt as you are in your picture there. Is that the one I'd rather be horse racing?
Yeah, it is. It says weekend horse racing, I think, with a chance to drink or something like that.
I get it. It should be like drinking with horse racing, but I got it backwards. But I don't drink anymore because the world was a much safer place now that I've stopped. But race number 6 at Churchill, because we're going to be doing the pick 4. So why don't you tell us about yesterday's best bet, and then we'll talk about today's.
Well, again, yesterday my first choice did not get in the money. Matter of fact, he faded to dead last for some reason. But my second choice ran second, paid $360 and $240, and my third choice ran third.
So it's all over the second and third choice, and you had a home run.
That's right. So, but today at Churchill Downs, I picked race 6, which is the start of the pick 5. And I liked number 6, Cousin Greg, who ran second versus similar in his last race and should improve while returning to a sprint. The trainer, Norm Cassie, has accomplished in 14 days, 6 mounts, 2 wins, and a second. Then I like number 5, Barber Road, won his last race at Keeneland and now cuts back to 6.5 furlongs, which would work with his running style, his early running style. So, and he has the highest last speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 3, Jesuit, won his race at Churchill Downs. He has Tyler Caffleone in the irons and a hot trainer who in the last 14 days has 6 mounts, 5 of them finished in the money, 2 wins, a second, and 3/3. Oh, all 6 finished in the money.
You know, it's Tom Carley just saw on Yahoo that Zach's Investment Research Bull of the Day is Churchill Downs Incorporated. I used to work there, Tom, at Zach's, Woodland Zach's. I could tell you some stories there about. I'll leave that be. But I know a lot about how all that stuff works at Zach's, and they have a thing called the Zach's rank. It probably is one of their 5 their earnings plays. But in any case, I thought about, what do you guys think about adding that to, because my background is in finance. I do a lot of research. I write a weekly newsletter for the stock market as well, and some insider stocks. And one of the things that I was thinking about doing for horse players, maybe not Bitcoin, but maybe putting up, taking some of the sports books and stuff like that and writing research reports about, just basically telling horse players. I mean, you're putting your money in Churchill Downs. You're putting your money at DraftKings. You're putting your money at FanDuel. You're putting your money at TVG. You're putting your money in all these places. Maybe some of them might be good investments. What do you guys think about maybe if we had a section where we wrote about whether or not we like, or the pluses and minuses of like Churchill Downs or Penn Gaming or, MGM Grand? If you guys are up for that, let me know on the comments, or you can put it on our Facebook or Twitter page at Racing Radar. Again, you can put it in the comments here at YouTube. I subscribe at the YouTube and then go ahead and hit the bell. So when it goes live, we can go like that. I'm a more well-rounded guy than you think, Roach. That's how I feel my picks are sometimes. Yes, I know, Tom. I'm just kidding you, my friend. But if that's something everybody would be interested in, let me know. I'll definitely take the time and put that up there, and we can make some, maybe make some money in some stocks as well. All right, Terry. Now, speaking of making money, you brought it up a little bit earlier. We did make a little bit of money yesterday. You had the fly 4. We had the fly 4. You had the hot dog pick 4. It's funny because in the second leg that you won, you had the winner, and I had the next 3 horses behind it. So no matter what would have happened in that leg, we would have had the winner.
That's right. Worked out pretty well, didn't it? And of course, that's my second in a row, so I'm going for a hat trick today. So
indeed. So the pressure is really on, Terry, for sure.
Yeah,
100%. So let me pull up the Excel sheet so that we can go ahead and put those numbers in and keep along, and Terry and I can tell who we like and who we don't like. So just pay attention when we're all done with this. Just pay attention to Terry's hot dog, and you can throw out the rest. All right. So race number 7, Terry, at Churchill Downs today is an optional allowance, $127,000. Non-winners of one lifetime. You have the purse is $127,000. Well, 1 mile on the main track. They've run 28 like that so far at the current meet at Churchill, Terry. 18 of the 28 were speed horses. 5 of the 28 got to the lead, kept the lead all the way from gate to wire. And then it looks to me like, outside of the rail, just about every other post position is okay. So are you going to start with the 1 horse, or are you going to go somewhere else, Terry?
No, I'm going to start with the 6 horse, Defeater. And he's not a speed horse. Comes from behind. But he has the highest last speed rating. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. and he drops in class today. And when the trainer ships in, he wins 21% of the races. And this horse just ran in a grade 3 race last time out. So
the Oklahoma Derby at Remington Park. So he's
Right.
coming in after a little bit of a layoff. That was on September 26th. The horse is working out at Churchill, and the workouts are a little bit, the faster of the third, in the top third, but not like bullets or anything like that. So the horse seems to be taking to the course fairly well. For me, my first pick, Terry, is the 3-horse Myopic. That's a horse that last time out ran at, it looks like Colonial Downs to me. I don't know, or CML. It also ran, Canada. I don't know where it ran, but it ran in the Canada Derby, a grade 3 as well, finished second by 3/4 of a length as the favorite. Comes to Churchill. It's been working out at Churchill Downs, again, working fairly well. The horse showed speed 3 times in a row, 3 races back, broke its maiden on the lead, did so by 6 lengths as the 4-5 favorite, and just got gelded, Terry. So a lot of times folks will tell you that first time gelded, much like the first time Lasix, is an angle. I know that Trevor McCarthy told us he likes the second time gelded and second time Lasix a little better, but I've read that statistically the first time is a little bit better. And just so everybody can get a sense of what to look for if you're looking at the program to know that it's first time gelded, in case you're unfamiliar with it, most are familiar with it, but if you're not familiar with how to find out if a horse is first time gelded, we're using Brisnet, and you'll see right here there's this G right there with the bold G. I don't know if that's bold or what you would call that, Terry, but
I think so. I think it's bold. It looks like it.
It's kind of like bold, but like highlighted or something like that.
Yeah, to bring your attention to it, that's for sure. Well, that's great because I like number 3 too.
All right. You like him because he's gelded or for some other reason?
No, I like him because he's got a high percentage trainer who wins 31% of the time when he puts blinkers back on a horse, and he'll improve at the shorter distance. He ran it that good race, that good second, as you're talking about in that Derby. So he's my third choice. So.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the one that's on the lead and the one that everybody else has to come get.
Yeah.
Who else do you like here, Terry?
Number 2, Malibu Stars. Trainer wins 20% of the races on the dirt starts, and he's eligible to improve because it's his second start after a layoff. He has the best dirt speed among today's one of the best speeds among today's horses. So
yeah, I'm looking at him too, Terry. One of the reasons I kind of backed off of him a little bit, he struggled to put 2 races together in a row without heading to the bench.
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe a horse is a little bit on the fragile side. And then the only other time that the horse made it to a 2-race cycle had a major regression in race 2 compared to race 1. So I don't, it may run a whole completely different cycle this time around because there aren't a whole lot of times that Malibu Star made it to the track 2 races in a row without a break. I am concerned that the only time it did make it to the race 2 times without a break, the second race was just not good at all.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the horse maybe needs to run a race, get some time off, run a race, get some time off. I don't know if that's that kind of horse because you see some of them like that need some rest in between every race. For me, I have a little bit of a long shot, Terry, as a horse here. I'm going to lock him in unless I don't have to lock him in. But that's the 4-horse Soaring Bird. Horse is making its 3rd time off of a layoff. And it improved pretty nicely from race 1 to race 2. The speed figure jumped up aggressively from a Brisnet score of 77 to 88. It's run at Churchill Downs 9 times with a win, 2 seconds and a third, but posted the best speed figure at Churchill out of any horse in this field, if my memory serves. And as Mike Smith told us, how a horse runs at a track, at Churchill specifically, typically, some horses really like that track. Some horses don't like that track. I would say the horse who ran the best speed figure out of all these horses might like it the most.
Yeah, you don't have to lock it in because that's my 4th pick. And it switches to jockey Smokin' Joe Talamo.
Yes, Terry's favorite.
That's one of my favorites, yeah. And he's finished in the money in his last 5 races, winning 2 of those. He has a really good workout at 5 furlongs of a minute breezing, second best out of 13. So I'm with putting him in.
And if there were a scratch here, Terry, who would you put in there?
Number 3, Myopic Grant.
We have that one in there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then
we don't have to put them in.
I have everybody then.
You have everybody. For me, the only other horse I would consider putting in here perhaps is the 5-horse, Terry. So just in case there's a scratch, maybe you might want to consider the 5-horse. The next race, Terry, race number 8, is a mile and a 16th on the main track again. And this one is an allowance for $50,000. The purse is $72,000 for 3-year-olds, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, that have started for a claiming price of $50,000 or less, never won a race other than the maiden claiming, waiver claiming, state bred allowance. Anyway, looking at that distance, there's been 40 races at the current meet, 30 of them, so exactly 75%, won by horses that are considered to be early speed, so first, second, or third at the quarter-mile marker, and 11 of the 40 ran wire to wire, Terry. Again, looking at the post positions, it doesn't really look to me like there's a significant advantage anywhere around. So any particular horse that you want to start with?
Number 5, Front Street 1. Her last race at Churchill Downs, 6 furlongs on the dirt, earned the highest last race speeding rating of the whole field, and has the best dirt speed among today's starters.
Yeah, and the horse was just claimed by Steve Asmussen. So you got Joel Rosario and Steve Asmussen. That's a pretty good combination right there. When Steve claims a horse, he wins the next time out at 20%. This horse is making its third start off a layoff. Last time out at Churchill, just put out a number on blast on the board. It's the best number that he's ever put on the board. It's going to be the first time, though, Joel rides him. Last time out, Brian Hernandez was on the horse. I'm going to give a little bit of a sneak peek here, Terry, but I noticed we both had the same exact idea in this race when putting together the hot dog. So as far as ticket construction is concerned, outside of the 5, how many other horses would you like to add?
Well, I think the 5 is almost a standout. I like the 3, which is Glamour Girl, eligible to improve after second layoff, after a second start after layoff. Likes the distance and the track and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And it's had a couple of good workouts in a row. So
some nice workouts. Second start off a layoff, and the horse's previous couple times out, mixed bag, either increased nicely or pretty much ran a race that it ran last time. So you like the 3, Terry. I like my second choice here is the 8-horse, Terry.
Okay.
And I think this is the race where we probably should only go 3 deep. Maybe we should even consider coming back to this and maybe going a little less deep. But Family Time, horse is all or nothing horse at Churchill Downs. Been at the track 4 times, won twice. One of those was at the distance. Last time out, Terry, the horse got to the lead, stayed on the lead as the $1.60 favorite, and actually beat Glamour Girl by 3 1/4 lengths pretty handily. And your favorite jockey of all time rides the 8-horse.
That's right. Smoking Joe Talamo. So, yeah, this is a good pick for me too. So I don't. Let's see. Do we have one in? We have one in there now. Do we?
I don't think we need any more. If there is a scratch, is there anything else you like?
That's plenty. Yeah. No, that's cool. If there's a scratch, then I'd like to put number 4, High Fashion. He's either won or finished second at 4 different tracks, which is very interesting. And she had a good work in preparation for this race. 48 breathing. 4th best out of 83 horses. I
agree. That's the horse I had rated in that spot too. All right, Terry, race number 9. It's an allowance, $160,000. Purse is $160,000. So you're looking at non-winners of 3 races other than the maiden, the claiming, the starter, or state bred allowance. Allow £2. And then you're looking at this race as 5 furlongs, Terry. They don't run very many at 5 furlongs. So generally speaking, speed wins at about 70% of the time at Churchill in sprints, and roughly 30% of them win wire to wire. So you kind of want a fast horse, and it looks to me like in a couple of the sprints you have a little bit of an inside bias from the post position as far as that's concerned. So as far as race number 9 is concerned, Terry, I'm going to start with, even though I said there's outside bias, I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to go with Bob's Edge, Terry. And it's not a speed horse either, but it is a horse that's raced at Churchill Downs 3 times, won 2 of them, has the top, if I remember correctly, speed figure that attained at Churchill, has put in a bullet workout since its October 15th win at Keeneland, and this is the horse's 3rd start off a layoff. Again, looking back at the horse's previous 3 race cycles, The third race was the best. So you have a horse that put the best last race speed figure on the one of the top speed figures on the paper, has one of the best speed figures at Churchill, 1, 2, or 3 at Churchill, and just put a bullet workout at Churchill. That's a lot of Churchill boxes to check.
It is, and I like the horse too. It's my fourth pick. He's got the best dirt speed among today's starter, and the trainer wins 21% of the time when he brings a horse back third time off of a layoff. So, yeah,
should have been your first pick, Terry. Who is your first pick?
Well, my first pick originally was number 4, but I changed to number 2, County Final. So I did a little more looking, and he's been keeping a lot tougher company than these horses. For example, last year at this time, this gelding was missing by only 3 3/4 lengths in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, finishing just behind Golden Pal. He's now exiting 2 straight Grade 2 races, and the last one he missed by only 2 3/4 lengths to a Breeder Cup winner, Golden Pal, in the Wolford at Kingland. Mm-hmm. He shows running well on the dirt, adds blinkers, gets Lasix for the first time, and of course, he's a really good price at 10-1.
Yeah, and Extravagant Kid, I think, was inside the Breeders' Cup. I think it ran on the Breeders' Cup. I don't know if it was in the Breeders' Cup race or not. I don't remember correctly. Too many races to remember. Yeah, and I also like the fact, Terry, that the horse does have a history of showing early speed and then fading.
Yep.
And then today it's first-time Lasix. So I like that angle a lot. First-time Lasix on a horse that shows early speed and fades, because a lot of time that Lasix is the difference between the horse fading and not fading. You know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah. And he's got a really good jockey, Brian Hernandez. So,
Can you real quick, Jerry, check the race at for third race results at Parks real quick? I'm going to talk a little bit about my next selection, Terry. And okay. So we have the 8, the 2. My pick for the next horse, Terry, is the 4 horse. That is Mamos. It's another horse that likes to show a lot of early speed. Michael Trombrada bringing the horse from Woodbine, where it did run the top last race speed figure on turf, bringing that to Churchill Downs. He hasn't worked out at Churchill lately, so it'd be interesting to see how he takes to that track. But I do like the fact that the horse does have the top early pace figures in the field. And because of that early pace, if it can take it from turf to dirt, and it has run on dirt at Monmouth without the benefit of a whip, and it did show speed there as well, I feel like it'll continue to show speed, Terry. And if you can get to the lead, as we mentioned at the top, at Churchill Downs in sprints, you can win the race. So for me, I have the 4 in here.
Yeah, and that was originally my first pick until I changed to the 2. So I really like it too. As you say, it's a really good horse. It has the highest last speed rating, dropped in class today, and should improve with a shorter distance. So,
and who else do you like here?
Okay, well, do you want to know what the results are?
Yeah, the results are
okay. The 1 won, the 2 ran second, and the 3 ran third.
1, 2, 3, and what did it pay?
$17.60 for the 1, $7.20 to place, and $3.80. The 2 paid $5 and $2.80, and the 3 paid $2.40.
And how about like Exactus Trifectus?
Exacta was $77.80. Trifecta paid $45.60.
For 50 cents.
Yeah, the double paid $104 for a $2 double, and if you had to pick 3, it paid $1,434.
Man, maybe we should have did Parks today. First 3 races.
Well, maybe we should have. I actually played Parks the first 3 races, but I had the first race because it was kind of wide open. Paid almost $50, but then I got knocked out in the second. So,
all right. So lest we get knocked down in race number 9 and off track here, who do you like as our potential 4th pick in race number 9?
Number 7, Fire Sword, won last race at Kingland, and on the dirt, 6.5 furlongs. His early speed running style will help his chances, and he has the hot trainer Wesley Ward and hot jockey Tyler Glaffrione, who in the last 14 days out of 2 starts have won both.
All right, so that is the 7 horse. Okay, perfect. So if there were a scratch, Terry, who would you want to add?
I have no other horses. Those are the 4 I have. Yeah.
Well, for me, my 4th pick was the 3 horse in this spot, Terry. So that would be Mighty Mischief, another horse that's got some really giddy up and go. Lifetime has been on the board 6 to 7. The only time it did miss that time was at Churchill Downs. So that was in its last race. So got to the bench. It's coming back. and has worked out okay since that last race. One bullet work, which was the fastest of 36 at 4 furlongs, came back and just put in a maintenance workout after that. November 5th, 38 and 5 for 3 furlongs. So not really trying to press the horse very hard there. So if there's a scratch or you have deeper pockets, you might consider the 3 horse. All right, Terry, let's wrap this one up. Hopefully we get to race number 10 and we are alive. And let's talk about the horse that we feel we want to start off with if we are alive to cash the ticket out at the end. This is a maiden claiming $150,000, mile and a 16th that we talked about already. You won 75% were speed. And 11 of 40 winners were wire to wire, and really not much of a post position bias, although you would think with that quick early turn it would favor the inside.
Yeah, actually. I like the number 5, Coastal Chaos. Finished second and third in his 2 career races, and he's going up in class now, which is kind of funny, but what trainer wins 25% of the time when he takes a horse up 2 classes.
So I was looking in race. We both have a single. I was looking at potentially another single here, and that is number 8, Wicked Genius. It has one of my favorite combinations of comments. The horse ran the top last race speed figure and is dropping in class. That is a combination that's worked very well for me. So the horse has since worked out on November 4th at Keeneland. It was an okay, again, maintenance workout. But if the horse can just run the same race it ran last time out, it was the best race here. Trainer dropping the horse to the first time, Kenneth Peak down to the maiden claiming ranks, has won 20%. So he's basically won 20 of 98 races, 19 of 98 like that. So pretty good angle for him as well.
Yeah, I like it too as my second pick. And both him and Brian Hernandez as a jockey, last 14 days, 23 mounts, 7 wins, 6 seconds, and a third. And he's got the best dirt speed among today's starters. So, yeah, I like that horse.
Yeah, you mentioned the jockey-trainer combo. Together, they've won 30% of their last 71 races. In the money 61% of the time, Terry. But interestingly, the duo put together a positive ROI, 60 cents on the dollar. So that's pretty good right there, combination. When they team up, bettors usually come away profitable. Who else do you like?
Number 9, Hippodrome, ran 4th after being bothered and clipped early, switches to jockey Tyler Glaffione and drops in class today. And Dallas Stewart, the trainer, in the last 14 days has won 25% of the mounts that he's entered. Has a sharp workout, yeah. Yeah,
the horse is lightly raced. I like that. I don't like that he regressed a little bit between race 1 and race 2. But what I do in terms of speed figure, but what I do like to see is that he moved up in class, moved up in distance. And although the speed figure dropped, probably because of the final resort, really faded kind of badly at the end there. But there wasn't much difference in terms he didn't really fade, just the other horses kind of ran away from him. But his early pace, mid pace, late pace numbers remained constant all the way through the track. So he didn't really fall off. It's just that the other horses were better, a lot better. And when you look at the fractions, despite going a half of a furlong longer, his fractions were actually a little bit faster. So I think coming back down in class, in relief in class, should be a positive there for Hippodrome as well. Finally, a horse that I like too, maybe Terry, maybe you do too, and that's horse number 4. That's Mr. Yasuda. Horse is making its second start after debuting. Is going to drop in class as well. Didn't really run very well last time out. Wasn't very well bet, but has some pretty good workouts since that last race, Terry. And you got Joel Rosario, Michael Maker. I feel like the 4 horse might be one that can surprise.
Yeah, I agree with that. I looked at it pretty hard, and I have it as my 4th pick. So,
all right, so there you go. That is our pick 4 ticket on the fly. If you were a scratch in this spot, Terry, who would you put in there?
I would probably put. Let me see here.
For me, it would be number 6.
Yeah, number 6. Start Shopping. He exchanged bumps down in the stretch with another horse and ran 5th. So he had an excuse for that. He drops in class today, and the trainer wins 21% of the time when he goes from the turf to the dirt.
Yeah, maybe we should make this an alternative pick 4, because if you look at the numbers, it goes 3, 4, 5, 6 just in race 7. Anyway, speaking of alternative pick 4s, this ticket is $96 for 50 cents starting in race number 7. And again, maybe you think about using some of these horses in exactas or trifectas, doubles, pick 3s, maybe some horses just to straight up win. However you like to bet, 10-cent superfectas. We just want to cover as many races as we can and yet still cover a bet that's out there. One thing I would suggest doing, if there's anytime you do a pick four, let's say you're doing the 50-cent pick four like Terry and I are, then I would suggest using making one ticket for 50 cents with all of your top picks, just in case all your top picks hit. That way you get twice the payout instead of just once the payout, and you do so for only 50 cents more.
That's true.
Fantastic. So, all right, there, Terry, that's our pick four. Race 7, 2, 3, 4, 6. Race 8, we both agree the 5-horse might be a standout single. It is the 7-5 morning line favorite. So, honestly, I hope we beat them. It will kill 2 hot dogs, but I think it would bust the payout a lot. So, 3, 5, and 8. Race number 9, 2, 4, 7, 8. Race 10, the 5, the 4, 5, 8, and 9. And then to the right, you see our alternatives in the event there are some scratches. Terry, we talked about having some similarities in our pick four tickets in terms of our hot dogs and our thought process. We both decided to single the 5 in race number 8. We both went 3 deep to start, and we just flip-flopped which races we felt like putting 4 on at the bottom. So there are a lot of different ways. The only horse we don't agree on, you have the 2 in race 7, I have the 3. We both like the 5 in race 8, so fingers crossed the 5 does come home. But if he does get beat, I hope it's by our highest odds horse. Race number 9, we both have the 4, 7, 8. You added the 2. Race 10, we both have the 5, 8, and 9. I added the 4. Those are our hot dog pick 4s, and there's only one way, Terry, for us to have the hot dog and fly 4s today.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's the 5-horse to win race number 8.
That's right.
All right, as we always do after the hot dog pick 4, Terry, here are our 3P parlays. These are horses we really like. Terry did Churchill. I did Turf Paradise. Terry, tell us what you have in Churchill for your 3P parlay.
Yes, at Churchill Downs in the 4th race, I like the entry 1A, but my horse in there is that I like the best is I'm the Prince. And then number 6 race, I like number 6, Cousin Greg. Number 7th race, I like
Cousin Greg.
Yeah, I like the 6 in the 7th. I like the 6 Defeater. So,
and I went to Turf Paradise to make sure we got some sun and fast track conditions. Race 2, number 2, TW Skipping Stones. Race number 4, Cousin Greg. Race number 7, 1 Bold Ray. All of these at Turf Paradise. Our best bets over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, where we cover every single track, every single race, every single day. And we have 3 best bets at every particular track. And our best bets finish in the money something around 72% of the time. So they're good horses to key your bets around. So many people ask us all the time, how should I bet? How should I bet? That's a really personal question, in my opinion, because everybody has a little bit different betting style. I might like to do trifectas. Terry might like to do exactas. Other people like to bet to win. But what I would say is if there is a situation where horses come into the money about 70% of the time, those would be good horses to wheel in your exactas and trifectas so that you maybe take 3 or 4 horses, put it on top of the best bet, put the best bet on top of 3 or 4 other horses for an exacta, trifecta, that sort of bet.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, I think it works out pretty well. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and out of here on this hump day? I know that tomorrow we're probably not going to be here, folks. We apologize for that in advance. Maybe I'll try to go solo, but I don't know because, I mean, Terry's been carrying us lately. I know his back hurts, so in any case.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that I can't be here tomorrow, but traveling back home, it's going to take me quite a while, and I've got some things going. So,
traveling Terry can't get.
That's it. Yeah.
Hey, that's the way it goes, my man, right?
Yeah. So the only thought I have is that it's a hump day. And so going down the other side of the hump to the weekend, be careful and win lots of money, either in the stock market or in the horse racing or wherever you track.
Play of the day.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. Or Bitcoin, where we started. Those coins for sure. So you too can be part of the 4% that retires because you're so stinking wealthy from digital coins for sure. Well, we hope to stuff your pockets full of cash today too with our pick 4s and our 3P parlays. Of course, it's horse racing, so you never know what you're going to get. So only wager what you can afford to lose, right, Terry?
Right.
And if you need help, please, folks, in all sincerity, Terry and I do this for fun. We play, but we play within our means for sure. But if you are outside your means and you're having problems, please seek help, get it corrected, because you don't want – it's horse racing, man. You don't want it to ruin your life or any form of gambling. It's just gambling. Bet what you can afford to lose, and that's it. All right, Terry, until we catch up again, I guess it'll be on Saturday maybe. We'll do something live on a track. Till then, Terry, safe travels.
Okay,
And for
thank
everybody
you.
out there, we hope that all your tickets are winners. And that, Terry, one last thing. Make sure you like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe at YouTube. Give us thumbs up. Give us likes so that we go up the algorithms. We'd appreciate that. Until then, Terry, we hope to see everybody's picks in the
winner's circle.
Have a fantastic hump day, everybody.